Now it is.
Okay.
What's up, guys? It's Keith.
And Chris from Purple Tiki Hermits. And today we're sitting with Nikki Susi, the hermit crab nerd. And Nikki, welcome.
Hi.
What we'd like to ask you first, Nikki, is how did you get started with hermit crabs in general?
So it's a really funny story. My cousin was living in Fitchburg. I don't know if you know Fitchburg.
Yep.
And he was at a bus stop, and he looked down, and there was a hermit crab.
Stop it.
Little mini hermit crab in a painted shell. He was like, oh my gosh, picked it up, took it home, tried giving it, the best little setup he could. He didn't have a lot of resources, but he was going to be moving to his sister's in Hawaii. So he knew it was my daughter's birthday, and he asked her if she wanted his hermit crab. I was like, no, I do not want that at my house. Gross. No, thank you. But she wanted it, and so I was like, okay. So he asked if I wanted to come get it, but he had no cover on its little setup he had for it. And I'm like, I'm not putting that in my car. What if it crawls out, gets in my car? No way. So thought I ordered a kit. I ordered on Amazon, like hermit crab starter kit. And it was just all the stuff you don't use. No tank, no nothing, no holder. So I ended up just taking it home. But I'm one of those people, I go above and beyond. I'm very extra. So I started looking into what I needed to do, what it needed, what I had to provide for it. And immediately I was like, oh, it needs to be covered. So I put aluminum foil on it. I made sure that I did have only pellets at that time. He had been giving it cereal. He's like, oh, it loves Lucky Charms. I bet it did. So I did all the research. I ended up going and getting a friend, because that's one of the things I had read about. And within, I wouldn't even say a month, I had convinced my daughter to give me her big tank, the blue-green tank, the bottom part.
Yep.
That was supposed to be for an oxalotl. I convinced her I'd buy her hamsters if she would give me her tank for the hermit crab, which we named Mario because he was red, and the guy who was green from the pet store, we named him Luigi, so we had Mario and Luigi.
Yep.
And it just grew, like insanely grew. I became completely intrigued with them. I can't believe how much research I did so quickly and how much I loved them immediately. And it just went from there.
It's insane. You sound a lot like me. The insanity of, here's this new thing. Let me learn everything by yesterday that I can.
Yeah.
And, then the next thing you know, you have several tanks and whatnot.
Yeah, we have 4.
I would have more if I
maybe
could.
4.
Well, no. Topper doesn't count. But we have 3 now. We have one in my daughter's room. My son has one in his room. And then we have the living room tank. So
Nice.
Why don't you have one?
We have 2 living room tanks. And a third, because the rescue one now. I have the 120 in my bedroom. I have the 75 in the kitchen. I have the 40 up in my daughter's room. And then I have my dream tank that I'm working on slowly, because I have nowhere to put it right now and I don't have the finances. But I got a 190-gallon, one of the reptile ones.
Oh, wow.
That has the 10-inch bottom.
Nice.
So I made sure I found it on Marketplace. I've been looking, so I've just slowly been making things and collecting things. And eventually, my daughter's right now in the dining room to get away from her sister. We've had her down there for about a year.
Yep.
Turned it into a bedroom. We're going to move my son. My husband's building him like an apartment room in the back of the garage. Get her out of there, and I'll make an office for myself.
There you go. Nice.
Because right now, I'm working out of the corner of my living room and my kitchen counter for my business. It's not working.
Well, speaking of business, you made a lot of announcements today.
I did. I've been going crazy all day trying to get everything out.
So what's going on with the Hermit Crab nerd side of things with the all the announcements and the new stuff?
So I invested in this really cool sticker maker with my state tax money.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Cricut, and I have a pretty crappy printer, and I make stickers and my labels and everything with it, and it's just been giving me a really hard time. So I wanted a sublimation printer, but
Yeah.
those are really expensive too. And I found the little printers that does stickers, and I stayed up till like 2 o'clock in the morning last night doing all the stickers, and then I got up and got the kids to school and started on it again. It's awesome. So I used my regular labels that I had and created all new updated versions of them.
That's excellent.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty exciting.
How does one get from a straggling hermit crab in Fitchburg, Mass, to doing food and 3D printing and stickers and?
So I love crafting. I actually had another business a couple of years ago that I just did things locally. I'm very artsy. I'm very artistic. I love crafting. So I was making things for my own tanks and sharing them, and people are like, well, can I buy this? Can I do that? And so I would tell my students, my goal eventually is to stop working in the education system and to open up an Etsy shop for hermit crabs and live happily ever after. And they were like, okay,
Yeah.
But that was my goal. I never in a million years would have thought it would have taken off the way it did for me. I just was like, well, let me put up a few things. And that was back last July. And I've made 2,500 sales since then.
Wow.
So, yeah. It went from my crafts to my husband said, I'll get you a 3D printer to, again, crafting. Everybody can get a 3D printer. So I kind of want to make sure I have other options.
Yeah.
Just because if every Tom, Dick, and Harry can go out and buy a 3D printer, what do I have that's different?
Right.
Yep. So by keeping, with my acorns and the mussel shell powder, which we collect the mussels in Maine, and the oyster shells we get in Maine as well when we're on vacation. By keeping that, I'm helping keep my business going.
Right.
So right now, I expanded my food only because I had a hard time getting duck eggs for a while, and I found a local woman who owns a farm and wants to start giving me duck eggs weekly. She set up like a thing with me where she wants me to come get them from her every week.
Nice.
Like, what am I going to do with all these duck eggs? I'm going to have so many duck eggs. So I'm like, I'll make other recipes with them.
Yep.
So I just started everything I had already, put together different types of recipes, came up with cute names, and came up with a bunch of food options that I announced a lot today. So
yeah, I saw. It's everywhere I turned, there was an announcement of some sort.
Yeah, and the stickers are just because I was having so much fun with them.
Yeah, right, of course. And it's fun because I have a silhouette which is the same as the cricket type of thing.
Yeah.
And I have a laser engraver, and I do glass
Nice.
etching, and I all that kind of stuff. For, whether it's for trophies for my other club
Nice.
thing or
Other hobby.
Other hobby, yeah. But now, along the lines of the 3D printing, because I know this is
Yep.
important to you, and we talked about it this past week. A lot of people out there, as you phrased it, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can get a 3D printer or find free files online, but they may not understand the licensing for those files. So do you want to go into that a little bit?
Sure. So at first I didn't either. I'm not tech savvy whatsoever. So I was sending everything I found that I liked to my brother. Can I use this? Can I use this? How do I understand it? So he finally got me to understand what parts I needed to read. And each page is different. On Colts, if it says CUPU, it's for personal use only.
Right.
If it says CC, then I can use it on my page. Or you go through every single one and try to find the fine line details. And I'll just search and search and search until I can find something or that I can use, and then I'll twerk it a little bit, or I'll use it if I really like it. I'll use it the way it is. I also found subscriptions that you can pay monthly to people to use their items. So I've done that, but it's hard because a lot of us follow the same people. There's not a lot of people you can follow.
Right.
So fortunately, the Hermit Crab community of 3D printing, we've all been really respectful to each other. Like, before I go and put something up, I'll go through everybody's page first. Like, okay, did they announce it today? Because it came out today. Did anybody else put this up? Quick,
Right.
I gotta look. And if nobody else has, I'll take a screenshot of whatever it is and be like, I'm gonna make this later, so nobody else will make it. and we try to respect each other and not do the same things. I have had a few people use similar things as mine or use the same things, and I have reached out nicely and just been like, hey, you know, I'm selling that too, blah blah blah. I've had some people don't care, and some people have been really respectful about it, but again, we try to work together as a team.
Well, and that's, you know, it's funny because I know you're aware of the rescue side of things that I'm trying to put together different pieces of for the network that we started, and
yeah,
it's been kind of split there of those that are respectful and appreciative and those that are pessimistic or diametrically opposed. You know, and it's difficult in this community. It's good to hear that, you know, the 3D printing side of things, and you know, you guys are cooperative to an extent of respecting each other, because that's important when we're talking about the health and well-being of the crabs, which is supposed to be more important.
Yes, for sure. You know, but as more every day, I feel like there's a new hermit crab 3D printing business opening up, and as more come about, it's not gonna work that way. So again, I want to make sure I'm branching out my stuff, but I also want to learn more about 3D printing. I'm more of I need somebody to sit down, hands-on, and teach me how to do it. Like, here, this, press this, do that. I can't listen to videos and figure it out. I just can't. I've tried. I mean, I have learned a lot. I have created things and been like, oh, I did it. Hardini's, Leanne at Hardini's is a godsend. She's so wonderful and helps me so much. And she doesn't have to. She's running her own business.
Right.
She does not have to help me. But I've built a great friendship with her, and she'll even take some of my files and fix them. Like, I'll be like, this is just not working. She's like, send it to me. And she'll help me out with it. So I'll try to send her some gift boxes every once in a while just to be like, I love you, thank you. Like, my husband says our friendship is one way. So I want to make sure she remembers I'll try to do something for you too.
Yeah, and that's a great example though of the cooperation that you're talking about, because I mean, here's somebody fixing a file, and for those not aware of 3D printing in that respect, you can build a paper airplane or you can build a paper airplane that flies.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't fly because of the way the file is put together. So for someone to, you know, be willing to help a competitor, so to speak,
right.
That speaks volumes about the community you guys have.
Absolutely, absolutely, and the respect. I've always respected her because I was a big customer to her. So, you know, for me to open up my own business, she did say, you know, I appreciate you never coming and trying to compete with me or to make the things that I'm making. I always make sure that I check with her first. I'll give an example. I found a file for the wheel, for the hermit crab wheel. Before I had put them up on my page, I said to her, I know your wheels used to look like this. I found the file. Are you okay with me using it? And she's like, yep, I'm done with that one anyways, go for it.
Right.
I don't want to ever throw anybody under the bus or say anything bad about anybody, but my business kind of blew up because of that wheel.
Right. Yeah.
There was a lot of drama over that wheel. I had put it up that night, went to bed, and I woke up to a message from her saying, you might want to go look at this Facebook page. Somebody had gone on and just ripped me a new one. They called me out and said that I was a thief, pretty much, that I stole a design. How dare I say I had rights to sell it. Awful things about me, and if I had rights to sell it, I should prove it, and this and this and that. I'm too old for that. I'm 45 years old. I'm not in high school, so I privately messaged this person and said, here, I have the rights to sell it. This is where I found it. I didn't copy or steal. They ignored all my messages and just kept going and
of course
kept posting about me. And the hermit crab community backed me up so much. They were like, this is mean girl vibes. Like, why are you calling her out? She's a new business owner. Why, you know, because I ended up writing, I sent you the proof.
Yep.
Let's leave it off Facebook. they were like, she took that very well. She was respectful to you. She didn't come back at you. And I started getting order after order after order for all these wheels. I mean, people very high up in the community that, you know, we see in the platform were ordering wheels from me.
Nice.
It was crazy. I ended up having to block this person because it just wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
You know, and before I did, I just said, well, thanks for all the sales. You know?
Right, because, her negative advertising for herself, right.
Yeah, it didn't work out in your favor. It worked out in mine. I stayed true to who I was, and I wasn't going to go and play high school games. I'm been there, done that, too old.
And
life's hard enough.
Right, and Facebook is more so than not typically with that kind of thing. And it's it's... Sometimes I find myself getting frustrated and tangled in, but I try my damnedest to, you know, just avoid it all. You know what I mean?
I have to get off sometimes. My son's always like, you're stirring up stuff. I'm like, no, they're doing it to me.
Right.
I feel like it's constant.
Right.
I mean, I'll turn around and somebody will do something, and I'm like, oh, I just am blocking. Block, I can't. Like,
right.
Leave me alone. I don't want to fight with you.
He's got his own little page because of the hermit crab stuff and the different stuff he does with Purple Tiki and so forth and so on. But with him, we made an agreement. You just have to let me know before you approve anybody or before you ask anybody, because it's easier to protect him from the community than to let him be a part of it at this moment.
Absolutely. And it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things recently that I've been a little bit disappointed with, honestly, is the fact that the hermit crab community is very similar in that respect. And it's unfortunate because, you know, again, I would imagine that everybody would want to advocate for the crabs and, you know, do what's right by them, cooperate with one another. Sometimes the ego and the attitudes just get involved and it becomes disappointing and monotonous.
It is. And they can be really mean to people that are just looking for help or that are completely clueless.
Yeah.
You know, they're literally just asking for help, and pitchforks and everything come out.
How do you feel? I have my feelings about this, but how does it make you feel when you start reading a post and it starts with, "Please don't come at me, but..."
Hurts my heart because you think, why are they saying that? It's happening too much.
It's happening way too much, yeah. And that's something that I wish the hermit crab community would look at as a whole. Because honestly, some of the people doing it are the same people that will say, you know, how great Mary is, or how great, you know, this thing is, that person, this information. But then they'll turn around and be snobbish about it and make these people feel that way. And it's I don't want to turn the interview negative at all, but there is some of that in our community.
Absolutely.
So
I always try to make. Go ahead, buddy. What do you want to say?
I just wanted to say to like you both and anybody watching real quick. I am paying attention if you're worrying about that. I just have literally nothing to say about this topic.
Okay. My husband. I always try to comment. So if I see people asking for help or needing advice and people coming at them, I try to always say, I would suggest watching Crab Central Station videos.
Correct.
I would like be nice about it too.
Yeah, and that way I'm not telling you you're doing anything wrong. I'm not giving you false information. I'm just saying, hey, go watch this, because that's what I found them, and I watched their videos, all of them, and I learned so much. And I'll tag Jessica from Land Hermit Crab EDU Center. I tag her a lot because she's been very, very helpful to me. Anytime I message her, my first naked crab, like, she walked me through everything. I actually messaged her yesterday because I'm having issues with my tubing and my toppers smushing it, and my airflow is not coming through, so I'm like, help!
Yep.
I haven't solved it yet. I'm still working on it. I told my husband we might have to lift it up and add more weather stripping.
I'll message you a little something.
Perfect.
Because I had to think about that myself, and I have a little sneaky trick that I used.
Nice.
May not be for everybody, and some may poo-poo upon it, so I'll leave it to the private messaging.
Listen, I'm down for anything because it's weird. Some tanks I have great airflow, and then other ones there's just nothing coming through.
Yeah.
Could I
So
use this?
Yeah.
I'm just cold.
So do you have any
too.
questions about the 3D printing and or the food stuff?
Not until after the interview for you.
oh, I want to, you know what, buddy? I want to tell you something. My big 120 gallon, it's my rainbow tank.
Oh, yes. Remember the red and
It's
blue?
rainbow. So like I started with my pools are rainbow colored, my wheel is rainbow colored. I added all in different colors, but that's the
Okay.
only one that doesn't have like a so it's
Specific
rainbow.
color theme.
So how did you feel about his critiques of your tanks? Speaking
I loved
of which.
it. I loved it. I do disagree on one part. I was telling my husband, you know how you think it needs more open space. A lot of times, the best thing to do is not have open space. They actually love the clutter.
They do. They
yeah,
do.
but in some cases, I can see like where you want open space and where it could be helpful. But then most of the time, the more the better.
Yeah,
Okay,
and one of the things, like, and I taught him, so I have to answer to
Yeah.
it, right? One of the reasons I've got him kind of thinking open space along those lines is when the crabs maneuver through the tank, I want them to have ample opportunity to go down to molt in different spots, to dig in different spots, and sometimes the clutter makes that a little more difficult.
Yeah,
So what
yeah.
I try to do is kind of, I'll have to send you a picture of my 40 gallon. There's literally a path that just kind of weaves itself from one side to the other. And then there are
Gotcha.
plants and hides and different
Yep.
things along the way. And so for me, that was something that I felt important to teach
Yeah.
him, is about having some open space so that they're not confined to
Right.
the area where the food dish is to be the place that they can go down to molt. Do you know
Right,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, you can't tell from the pictures, I'm sure, that I sent, but I do have that. I do have that open space in between that they can get through as well. So I make sure that it's set up that way. But one part, the blue-green tank, is where I found mites. I decided I was going to move everything and add some different things, and I didn't have my reading glasses on, and I thought I saw something on the tank, so I put my glasses on, and I was like, oh my god, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm really good about freezing my foods. I have forgotten a few times because I've been excited and been like, I want to put it in there. So many mites.
Yeah.
And out of my 5 tanks, they were in 3 of them. I've gotten rid of 2 of them. My big tank, there's not as many in there, so I've been using, I don't know if you've read my comments on other people's posts, but split peas.
Yep. Yep. Split peas is supposed to be fantastic.
Yeah, so I just happened to come across that last year. A coworker had them, and I came across the information, and it worked for her. So I have quite a few bowls of it in there, and I'm kind of hoping I can get rid of it because those are my jumbos, and to be able to move the little guys around into other tanks while I get rid of mites is one thing, but
Right.
I have 9 jumbos in there, and I really have nowhere else to place them,
Right.
and I would have to do half the tank at a time, and then I'm hoping I can get rid of them slowly by not disturbing them too much, because I make them mad when I move their things around.
How dare you? How dare you?
So, I don't know. They're pretty active, too, so I never want to make them too angry.
Right. So now that we got to know you a little bit, we know the business side of you is the food and the 3D printing. What's next? What's coming up? I mean, you did, like I said, you did a bunch of announcements today.
Yep.
Where can people find you? What's next? What are you thinking of? What's some thoughts in that head that are going to come to fruition one day?
I hope I can learn to design my own creations that even if other people have 3D prints, it's something so unique and so awesome for hermit crabs that they just have to purchase it. That's my goal, is to be able to do that, because now I have three 3D printers, and we've invested in so much filament and so much time. I mean, my kids get a lot of cool clickets and whatnot out of it, and so do their classes and classmates, but I want to be able to continue using it for the hermit crabs. So that's one thing. And just work on maybe my crafting as well, so that way I can still keep both sides of it. But even that can be a competition. And the copying is just crazy too. So you come up with something, you come up with an idea. Obviously, it's a good idea because other people are doing it. And
Right.
they're like, oh, what did you do with this? I'm not going to sell it. I have a lot of people asking me how I go about doing my acorns, and that is a huge process. But Google is your friend.
Right.
You know, I did so much research on what I needed to do, and it's such a big process that if I was a person, I would rather buy the acorns from me than do it myself, because it's a long process, and a lot of work. Same with the mussel shells. I mean, I'm literally walking up and down the beach getting those, and then I'm soaking them, and then I'm boiling them, and then I'm scraping them, and then I'm using a hammer and I'm smashing them, and then I'm grinding them, and I mean, it's a lot of work.
Right.
You know, drying them out in the sun. It's not a one thing process. So when people are like, well, can you tell me how to do that? I have a lot of those at home. It's a lot of work. You know, I don't mind helping people. I don't want to be a gatekeeper, but at the same point, I figured it out.
Well, and
gotta
that's the
kinda
thing,
figure
when
things out.
you understand how much work goes into something like that, it's that tough side of things where you want to teach somebody because you know it's just the coolest thing or whatever the case may be, but then you factor in the competition, the business, and all that stuff, that side of stuff, and it's tough to give away trade secrets.
It is. The acorns, I'm the only one who sells that type of like acorn for hermit crabs. There are people that use the acorns in different recipes and caps, and they make treats with them, but I'm the only one that does them like that. And I'm like, I don't want to give that information, even though it is out there and people can figure it out. And you have to be really careful, because there are, you know, it can be harmful to them. I forget the word, tannins.
The tannins, yeah.
You know, if there's too much and if you don't treat them correctly, it could be harmful to them. So if people are just putting them in there and not doing it correctly, that could be a bad thing. So
yeah, and that's something that you have to be careful with, is the tannins, because it's in your leaf litter, it's in your wood products. Some of the driftwood is like, we have Mopani in this tank, very high in tannins.
Oh, I didn't know that. I have Mopani too.
Yeah, very, very, like, soak it, boil it, probably a couple times before you bake it off and then put it in there, and you will notice the water is just browny brown, because maybe with some red tint to it because of the amount of tannins in the wood, and you know, that's something that they naturally will chew on. If they come around to it, it's something that can be beneficial to them as far as the tannins go, but it's also, to a certain extent, it's kind of like having a beer at night. You can only have that many before it becomes detrimental, and the tannins are the same to the hermit crabs.
Right. And that's, you know, I want to make sure that people are aware of that as well, so that they're not selling them and harming, because not everybody will see things and be like, I wonder if that person did their research first. You know, they're just going to buy it. They don't know that you should research it. So if anybody buys anything from me, know that I am extra. I research everything. I ask questions. I look into it. I would never put anything out there that isn't good for the crabs.
Right.
It's so important. So, and I don't feel like everybody's on that level, and I don't feel like everybody even knows that they should look that deeply into it.
Yeah. And that's something that speaks volumes about what you're doing, quite honestly. And you know, I'm not just saying that because you agreed to come on and get an interview. That's a huge part of the quality control and the things that people should be after. You know, and I feel like, you know, if they see this interview, they're gonna look up the Etsy shop. They should, because you're putting the extra effort in to do the right thing by the crabs, and that's what's important.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, lastly, and quite self-servingly, how do you feel about the project Lori and I started with the Tiny Claws Hermit Crab Rescue Network?
I love it, because right before you and her started working together, she was getting burnt out. Last year, I was rescuing hermit crabs left and right. But not rescuing them to foster them. I was rescuing them to keep them. I couldn't find any to adopt at first, and then all of a sudden it just started happening. And then I was like, oh my god, hermit crab this weekend, hermit crab this weekend. Like, we're just getting so many. And she was like, how do you keep finding them all? I can never find any. So I started getting at max capacity, and I started tagging her.
Yeah.
And she had already been doing it, but was having a dry spell there for a while. And then it went off for her. She was on it. Like, she was making sure she was on the sites and paying attention and looking, and I feel like it was becoming a lot. So the fact that you guys started working together, I feel like that's awesome, because I couldn't offer her too much help. I work as I was a paraprofessional last year, but I used to substitute teach before that. I went back to substitute teaching this year, so I do that occasionally now. I don't have a lot of time. I'm really busy with this, so I have that, and I have my 3 kids.
Right.
I have 3 dogs. We have 2 hamsters, and all hermit crabs.
Yeah, I was going to say, 43 hermit crabs.
74,694.
So I tried to help her when I could. So I was glad to be able to finally do a foster. And
Yes.
I just adopted out 2 of them.
That's awesome. And it's funny because, like, she just went through, within the past 2.5 weeks or so, I'm at full capacity. I have none. I can't find any. And it's like, it's so up and down. She's got several molters right now that may be spoken for before they return from molting.
I have 1 molting. The one of the 3 went down, and I was kind of hoping they wouldn't. I did do a reptile tank with the lower substrate, hoping that I could keep them from molting.
Right.
But I mean, it's deep enough that they can molt still. It's probably 6 inches.
Yeah.
But because I couldn't go lower than that, I would feel horrible. But I was still hoping it wouldn't happen, but it did. Because then how do this girl wanted to adopt smaller crabs, and one of the smaller ones was down. So I'm like, I have a medium and a small.
Yeah.
But she took them.
That's awesome.
I am tempted when he comes up to keep him. I'm like, I might just put him in my pink tank, because I actually just lost a crab. I think he had a bad molt. So I might end up keeping this guy. But that's not the point of doing it. My husband's like, you're going to end up keeping all of them.
Yeah, that's my problem. So this tank behind me was supposed to be a rescue tank. That was before the topper, and before I fell in love with my first 2 rescues.
Yeah.
Outside of our own crabs, and
we're not getting rid of them.
then we got I don't know how many more since, and
since Jake and Rocky,
probably like 5, right?
Harry, Alex, Lobster, Minnie, Mickey, Popcorn, 6 or
6 or 7, yeah. So
yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I honestly have no idea how many I have. Then when people ask my kids, I'm always like, just tell them a couple. They're like, she has a lot.
I mean, when there's a tank in every corner of every room, you lose count. You lose count.
I want one of those. On TikTok, you see the whole crab rooms where all the tanks connect.
Yeah, the big,
Like,
we need
life goals.
Exactly. I want to upgrade one of my tanks, and between him and my wife, they can't see how I need to, because they feel like it'll just be a 4th tank, but I want to, but then maybe the tank I upgrade will become the 4th tank, so
that's what happens. I'm like, I'm going to get this tank, and then I won't need that tank, but then I'm like,
Right.
The 120 should have done it for us, but
no.
And that was a free tank. I got that for free. My husband got it for me in Springfield for free.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a great tank.
Yeah, my wife won't let me get anything bigger than what I currently have.
You're not getting.
I would think that he wouldn't let me, but he actually enables my behavior. He'll be sending me this free tanks on Marketplace. And I'm like, where are we going to put it? Stop it.
Now, see, if we were back in the house that we had rather than an apartment right now, she would care less. She'd,
right.
If I drove out to pick up 3 tanks every weekend,
We're not doing that.
No, we're not.
And we wouldn't anyway.
But I could if we had the house still.
No, we wouldn't. How would we have the room to put them?
Relax.
Listen,
relax.
I have one in my kitchen. You can make it work.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Who needs a headboard when you can have a hermit crab tank?
Right? I tried convincing my son, he's 21, I'm like, don't you want? They're so pretty. Look at the light. Don't you want one in your room? He's like, ew, no.
But they're so cute.
He's the only one I have not gotten on board yet.
That was the part with him that was tough, was selling him into the idea of keeping a tank in his room. But we ended up deciding that was his tank, and he got to do with what he wanted to, and He
Nice.
takes care of
You
everybody
didn't
and so
actually
forth.
let me put it together.
So-
You did it all
Well,
yourself.
no, I helped you put it together.
No,
because
you didn't.
You're not supposed to sell me out like that.
Sorry, I didn't let my daughter either, but I don't feel like she wanted
No,
to.
but that's
She's
one
not
of our
taking care
favorite
them.
tanks, by the way. The
Oh,
purple
well,
tank,
good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
good,
like
yeah.
that tank.
Yeah,
She
thanks.
picked
for
all the
nothing.
stuff she wanted for it. She picked all the colors. I just did it all. She does not take. She's 13, so she could take care of them. She also the hamsters that I traded the tank for. I take care of the hamsters too. She doesn't take care of her hamsters.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I take care of
No,
my
for
cats.
him, it's a responsibility thing. Like, I check on the tanks every morning,
yep.
and if I see anything, I just mention it to him. I don't do it anymore.
Good. That's great.
And then if I have to do it, the tank's coming out of that room and it's mine.
See, and I don't even think she'd care. 'Cause
No,
she's
she wouldn't,
at that
'cause you
age.
have the
She's at
rest
that
of them.
age.
Yeah.
And she's like, meh.
Yeah.
So my
whatever.
little one though, she's 10, and she wants a tank. But since we're gonna move her, I don't want to put a tank. I want to put my tank in there that I'm building because
Right.
that'll be my office.
Yep.
Because once they're in, they're heavy, and that's
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I want to wait on her tank. She's ready though. She's super excited and wants a tank.
Well, we're currently sitting in my 5-year-old daughter's room, and that's
Gotcha.
where this big monstrosity resides.
Love it.
So
Oh, she
she's
must
got
love it.
she's got the 3 big guys. She calls them the boys.
Aw.
You do
I do too, and she she absolutely loves it. She checks on the food dishes to tell me if she thinks I need to look at
Aw.
them. So she'll be on videos soon enough because she's already spouting off facts and all the nonsense
it.
that goes with it. So,
I love it,
do
yeah.
you have any final questions and/or comments about what's gone on so far?
too. Not about what's going on. But maybe I could mention something after we stop recording.
Okay. Secret.
I told you, Dad, I have some
Not
things I'm
really.
going to send to you and your sister for my shop.
There you go.
Okay? So make sure you go through the package with them when you get it.
All right. Well, Nikki, thank you so much for your time. Before we conclude this, is there anything else you want to say to the general public that will see this on YouTube and Facebook?
Adopt. Reach out to rescues. The business cards that I'm attaching to all the New England orders, I'm hoping can really come in handy because I actually had a customer reach out to me this morning. Do you know how I need to get rid of my hermit crabs? I don't know what to do. So in cases like that, if I'm sending out this information, they'll already have it.
Right.
So, and there are people on Facebook that are like, oh, can I just go leave it down by the lake?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
do your research. Make sure you adopt. Make sure you look into rescues.
And don't be afraid to make mistakes. We all did.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't be afraid to, if you have to get rid of them and it's the better choice for the hermit crabs, get rid of them.
There's no judgment here.
Yeah.
No judgment here.
Because it is expensive hobby.
Yeah. And if it's something that someone can't do for whatever reason,
Yep.
at the time of surrender, there's no judgment here.
Absolutely.
And if there comes a time where you can, we'll be here to adopt you out some crabs,
Absolutely. Yep.
So, well, Nikki, thank you so very much for agreeing to do this and for tolerating me for this entire time since Quiet over here didn't have much to say.
I'm sorry. There were topics that I mostly didn't understand. I didn't know what to say at all, which is why I slid in that little comment earlier.
That's
I'm
all right.
sorry
It's good
that
just
I
to have you
wasn't-
here.
I'm sorry
you're
I
good.
wasn't a big part of it.
You're good. Thank you guys.
I'm
That's
the
great.
main character.
Absolutely. So, guys, check her out. That is the Hermit Crab Nerd on Facebook. On that page, you can find her Etsy link and so forth. Hermit Crab Nerd on Etsy as well. And go check out the foods and the different 3D printed supplies and so forth that she's toting out there with her brand new stickers.
Yes. So excited.
So for now, guys, that's it. She is the Hermit Crab Nerd. I'm Chris.
And I'm Keith.
And we're out of here.
Oh. Said that at the same time.